G'day and welcome to Calderis Refinery, the map everybody loves. And look who we're playing here, freaking Carnevour. I mean, playing the Refinery Alpha is digging away at a tunnel. Where's he going to pop out? But the whole thing, man, Carnevour, what the fuck? We haven't seen this guy in ages. I don't remember the last time I saw a replay from Carnevour. He hasn't been posting on the forums. He's like completely fucking disappeared. So when I saw him, I was just thinking, is this actually the Carnevour I think it is? And sure enough, apparently it is. And who's he playing? Well, I have no fucking idea. It's that old problem. The community is just completely fucked because you just can change your name at will here. You know? So this faux Q guy could be, who knows who he is. He could be some complete legend for all I know. But yeah, so we've obviously got Chaos versus Tyranids, and we've got the Revenant Alpha. Now the Revenant Alpha, I haven't actually done any Revenant Alpha videos before, I don't think. But the Revenant Alpha is obviously a kind of sneaky unit, you know. It's got all these, almost unique in the entire game with its tunneling ability. I mean, of course, you do have the, you know, warp gates in Eldar, but it's just not even similar. Over here you can see crippling poison, which completely negates that Chaos Lord, and a nice little set of micro, moving these Termagants out of range of the Kill the Weak. Very, very, very good play there by Carnevour, showing skills. And here these Hormagaunts coming back to try and get a little bit of retreat melee damage on that Chaos Lord. It won't go down, but still. Yeah, but you know, like the Revenant, man, like very, very cool and very, very unique race, I think. You know, like, well, not race, hero, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But its ability to build the tunnels all around the map, just phenomenal. Phenomenally powerful ability. And hopefully we're going to see some very, very clever play, because if there is a map to do it on, this is pretty much one of the maps. I mean, it's famous for being one of the larger 1v1 maps, and the Chaos Lord is obviously, you know, one of the most unmobile you know, heroes in the entire game. I mean, he's not as bad as the freaking Plague Champion, Plague Lord. What's the Plague Champion? What the fuck? You know, the Plague guy. But he's not as bad as the Plague guy because he's got that slow movement crap. And you know, the heretics do have the ability to fling, but still, you know, the Revenant Alpha is really going to have an advantage in this game. That's just gonna, I believe, is really, really strong. I mean, so many Tyranid players, they go for the Hive Tyrant, you know, or they go for the stealthy Lictor Alpha. But I reckon the Revenant Alpha is by far the most interesting of all the Tyranid heroes that can be played. So let's actually talk about this game for a change. So we've got a double Heretic, Chaos Marine, and Havocs coming out for good old faux Q, and that is a very, very strong build for the Chaos Lord. The double Heretics, of course, because the worshipping of the Chaos Lord is one of the most powerful worships in the game. Allows them to do extremely high level stuff. There's so many little tricks they can do. And there's the... where is the other? I think there's another one back at his base. There's another one here. You can see him just popping all over the map to protect his people. But yeah, the Havoc, of course, is very, very good at controlling the Tyranid blob. And I think that's going to be a very, very, very vital unit. I'm actually surprised to see the grenade launcher upon the Heretics here. I guess he is fearing the ranged blob, and the ranged blob, of course, does get affected by that is able to be countered by pushing back through here. We probably see that this one is not upgraded, and it isn't. Okay, so what have we got here? Warrior Broods, and we've got another Chaos Space Marine group coming out, which is quite interesting. We might see some, I don't know, it's possible we could see a Zinch Khorne out of the two of them. I think that's probably not a particularly good idea if Carnevour is up on his micro, and you know, well, he's going to be Core Marines really. Oh no, he's going to lose his Hermagant squad. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh snap! Carnevour, you just got your ass pounded. But no, but seriously, the crippling poison absolutely crushes the Khorne Marines, so I really hope we don't see that. But at the same time, I mean, God, he's really putting the pain on, driving him back. These warrior broods are going to have to get the hell out of there too, and we've got a freaking 3 cap going on any second now. He hasn't capped his own natural. Ravenna Alpha is a bit of whoa, smack. See, that's why I love playing Plague Champion. You would not have been pushed back if you were playing the Plague Champion in that, because he would have been able to heal on the field. He used this to come in and decap and then actually cap his own power. Very, very cool. And this is the kind of thing you're going to be seeing from the Ravenna Alpha all the time. It's still, I do not know if this is known. He is going to give away this tunnel's position during this attack. And boom, here comes the call in. So much for that fucking Havoc squad being able to do jack shit. That's an extremely powerful new ability. And the Zoetrope is on the field. The dreaded Zoetrope, probably the most fearsome unit for Chaos at the moment, especially for the Chaos Lord. There is very, very few answers. I mean, he has got 2 ticks, so I mean, double blood letters is really his only choice here. But if those Zoetrope numbers grow unchecked, it's going to be absolute, you know, just terrible for poor old FOQ. Okay, so we've got the healing, that little shit all over them, that's like the healing vibe coming out of that Zoetrope. It's not a particularly strong healing gel, but it's definitely means something. And of course, there are drawbacks as well, because they do, look at that beautiful micro getting out of there, kiting around, crippling poison is down. Beautiful, he's just kiting the hell out of that. If only he had his other Terminate groups, Termagant squad still on the friggin' ground, that kiting would have actually been able to do something. Not quite sure what he's expecting to do with this Ravenna. Smack. Well, Kill the Weak goes off. And of course, once Kill the Weak has gone off, that's your signal to go into melee. You know, you kite him as much as you want, but then once he does that Kill the Weak, that's when you send all your melee in, because, you know, he won't be able to recover. Which is pretty much exactly what we saw. Again, another call down. Boom. And look at the damage that put out by that Zoetrope on those heretics. These little dudes are freaking awesome. Look how awesome they are, seriously. Gotcha! I am a little alien motherfucker. And the second Zoetrope is coming out onto the field. And we really he's just not being able to keep the ground capped, unfortunately, Faux Q, which is a real shame, because if he doesn't start getting some bloodletters, these Zoetropes are just going to get out of control very, very quickly. Now, the thing about Zoetropes that's really, really fucked and has everybody up in arms is that they don't do friendly fire damage. Okay, so it's not like, you know, a lot of the other units. Like if you teleport into the middle of them and they shoot at, you know, the people just attacking them, they don't hurt each other, you know, which is something that a lot of the other units do, and it really makes the Zoetrope one of the large splash damage units that are safe to use because they don't hurt your own troops, and you can like attack ground their command directly into your own blobby units, you know, especially if the other person's gone melee. You know, you just charge in your guys and then attack ground into them, you know, because there's no damage to your own units, and it's a real advantage, I think, and it's a little unfair. And what it means is, of course, that even if you do get the double, that's why you need double bloodletters, because if you have one bloodletter and you go in there, you know, they can take it out because they can just attack ground into the same place, and that protects them. But that only happens once they get like a little bit of extra damage. Okay, while I was talking shit, we just lost a freaking heretic squad. I don't know where that was happening. It's the problem with casting a Ravener Alpha. They just move around the map so quickly. If I'm not paying attention, which, you know, I'm kind of not, then you just miss shit. It's too easy to miss shit. I mean, he is spread all over the map. We still haven't got a 50 unit coming out for Faux Q, but then again, he has hardly any map presence. He's just recently been starting to build up, you know, get some rec resources and stuff. But I really think there's going to be some problems coming here. Let's have a look and see what kind of upgrades we have got going here. We have the Inferno Armor, and we have the Dark Halo. Now, these are pretty decent choices. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he's going to get the Flail. That might be a good choice. Or maybe he's waiting to see for the heavy units, the tier 3 units, and get the Claw. But this is something you see a lot of people do, and I don't really agree with it. Ooh, Crippling Poison. Completely negating that guy's ability to move. This is where, like, if he had that big flail right now, smack into the ground, knock those fucks all over the place, this would be a totally different battle. And a lot of people, they see he's getting the claws now, but a lot of people, they don't like buying multiple war gears. They think, you know, if I buy one war gear, I'm stuck with it. You know, that's bullshit, man. If you don't need the, I mean, look at his rec. I mean, if you don't need that power and that rec for anything in particular, you've got to use it. You've got to use it to get those abilities. It's better to spend the rec and get the ability than be in a situation, you know, when you can't use it. But he is all upgraded now. And what have you got over here for the Ravener Alpha? Not much. He does have the Crippling Talon, which is a fairly, I don't know, it's a sort of mid-ground thing. I think it's a good choice. You know, it allows them to do some decent melee damage, but of course it doesn't really cost too much, you know. So that's all right choice. But apart from that, I mean, all the standard upgrades. It's got the Venom Sacs, and he has the Adrenal Glands, which is very, very cool. And we've got some Gene Stealer Broods coming out as well. Interesting that the Gene Stealer Broods is coming out. I'm not sure that the Noise Marines have been revealed, but with the Gene Stealer Broods is pretty much gonna completely crush those Noise Marines if they get the ability to get close enough to them. He has got Zinch on this set of Marines, and his other Marines have also got Zinch. Gives him the super bolters of death, laser beams of doom. Now it's interesting to note, a lot of people get confused by this. The little speedy upgrading shit that these guys give you, it does not affect setup time, it's only movement speed. It's not like Veil of Time, okay? That's a librarian ability. And look, the scary fuck off blob of death is just starting to really rocket for Carnevour. And this is where the Tyranids start to really excel, and that is while the blob is running, you know, when the synapses are all pumping. And this is where the strategy of the other player really comes in. I mean, you cannot take this on. You cannot fight this fucking group of people. There's just no point in trying, you know. What you've got to do is get into an attrition war. You've got to start playing like the freaking computer, you know, when you play the AI. You've just got to run around and cap shit behind this blob, just all over the place. And here's the Gene Stealer's fucking up those Noise Marines. I think he retreated a little bit early there. He probably should have hit the Cacophony and give them a bit of a knockdown and then retreated, and he wouldn't have got any kind of extra melee damage on the return journey. But, you know, he might have been worried that he was going to get nailed by these guys, I guess. Carnevour is absolutely dominating at the moment. I mean, look at that map. The whole bloody map is red. This is a mess. Poor old Faux Q, whatever. Anyway, out comes the Blood Crusher. I really don't know if this is really going to do anything. In fact, I'm not quite sure what the right choice is here for Faux Q. I mean, unless he can split up these forces, I think there's going to be a lot of problems here. I do like the underused ability of the Blood Crusher is to, you know, get into the thick of the battle using the flink shot from the heretic. He's only got one heretic, by the way. And then you hit that furious roar bullshit that it does that like forces the units to retreat, and that is actually an extremely whoa, holy shit, blood sacrifice on that. God damn it, mouse, stop fucking up. Yeah, but that's a very, very powerful trick, which I haven't actually seen recently in any videos. And again, that call-in, absolutely owning. There's that roar going off. But that roar can, because of the synapse ability of the Tyranids, running in and doing the roar and forcing that retreat can absolutely cripple the Tyranids' defensive and attacking capabilities because of the way Synap works on a range basis. Okay, he did manage to drive him away. I'm actually surprised he won that fight. I think the Noise Marine with the Master Blaster doing that knockdown. Jeez, come back. Fucking, yeah, god damn it. Red dude. Yeah, that knockback from the Master Blaster really putting a massive dent into Carnevour's army here. But he is using the knockdown, the call down abilities just really, really well here, completely controlling that havoc and into some respects, the Noise Marines, and I think that's really going to be a problem for Faux Q. But you know, if he doesn't start capping the map, doesn't matter what the fuck he does, man, he's screwed. Yeah, get the hell out of there. That's another really good thing about the Master Blaster, by the way, is that the Chaos Lord itself is actually immune to the knockdown. It's the only one of the heretic characters that are the Chaos characters that are. So it's a really synergistic upgrade. Now comes a second Blood Crusher, and why not? That last one was so effective. Okay, if he doesn't get some... There's the roar. Boom, blood sacrifice. He needs some worship going on here. This heretic squad is going to go down in this battle. Ugh. That's just horrendous. And it looks like he lost one of his blood crushers while I was looking at this fight as well. And now very, very wisely retreating off. And this is something you don't see enough by players. They win an engagement and then they stick around on the field. Oh, boom! Now there is the Zoetrope power there, just absolutely murdering the fuck out of those squads. But no, this is something that you don't see enough of, I don't think, you know. People, they win a really powerful engagement, a big battle, they take a lot of losses, and then they hold the map position, they try and hold the position. And meanwhile, their opponent runs back to base, heals up, reforces the troops, and comes back with an even bigger, just completely crushing army. While the guy, you won the battle, you have, you know, but now the field is covered in weakened units. You know, and you got to remember the heretics. They don't. Why am I calling them heretics? Jesus, fuck! I'm so tired. Like I just haven't been sleeping recently. I get really fucking bad insomnia, man. Like everything's in a haze. But the chaos, right? They don't have an on-site reinforcement unit. You know, like the Razorback or whatever. You know, so it's. Yeah, I just think that you don't see enough of people winning a massive engagement, and then once they see the enemy retreat retreat themselves, so they can actually get off the field and regen, and then come back, because it won't take you as long if you win the engagement. It's not going to take you as long to regen, of course, because you actually don't have as many units to reinforce or as much health to regen. But if you don't leave the battlefield and regen, then when the other guy comes back, you're going to be screwed. And that was awesome play there by Carnevour. What have you got coming out here? A Swarm Lord. This has got to be GG like any second now. Poor old FoQ hasn't really got a lot to do here. I mean, the Carnevour's pretty much had the entire game sewn up from the beginning. Another blood sacrifice going off, but of course it's not going to do much. There's another heretic squad about to go down. But nice Doom Blast saves. Ooh, down goes the G-Stealers. That's an excellent win there for FoQ. Was that another blood sacrifice? No, that was just a Doom Blast. And here comes the Swarm Lord. And that's going to be a GG. Yep, there it is there. Very, very good game. Carnevour pretty much dominated that game. I mean, FoQ played very, very well, but without capping, you know, I mean, you just can't let fucking Tyranids go rampant on the map and just cap the entire map, which he had for almost the whole game. But if you look at the VPs, not really that much different. I mean, FoQ played really, really, really well. But yeah, out of all the races in the game, the Tyranids, man, once they get momentum, once they come to fucking get moving and get blobby and start synapsing each other, and they've got heals and range damage and melee defense bonuses, they just start to get really, really dangerous. And if you don't fucking switch up your play, if you don't change up, you know, you're just not gonna ever be able to survive that. FoQ, man, props, but just not good enough. Gonna keep an eye out for more from you.